Hey everyone, Mason here. Quick update on the build. So I've been farming T15 Delirious maps. I do not care what mod. They don't kill me, nothing kills me. I have not died. I'm about to hit level 93. In terms of changes, there's these Sanctum Jewels that are pretty interesting. They grant block chance for all notables in the radius. And this node over here actually gives 3 notables, these 3 here. So this is actually quite good if it allows me to take out jewels basically and put in more damage, minion damage jewels. So instead of having like 7% block chance and res, or just 7% block chance in general, I can now slot in these damage jewels, which do increase my damage drastically. In terms of anoints, previously I was anointing Covering Ward. I've changed my mind. I've now anointing Parrying Motion for the extra block chance. So Parrying Motion with a 3% Sanctum Circle Jewel, and these 3 nodes here, as well as I think it's 1 block node here, 1 block node here, jewel sorry, and 1 jewels here. So 3 block jewels with 7%. Keeps me block kept, which is nice. In terms of what we've sacrificed these 3 damage nodes here, and we've also sacrificed these 3 damage nodes here. It's 60% more damage, it's quite a lot, so I do want to get it back. But I do think that being able to get in these 2 damage blue jewels really helped a lot. You might notice that I'm actually pathing down to Eternal Youth. So I was doing King of the Mist, I think it was like level 2 boss last night. And he got me pretty low and I was running around waiting for regen, which is not the best. So I've decided that I would instead path down to Eternal Youth and it gives me an extra jewel socket. And I also grabbed a insane an insane life flask. So the removes 15% of life recovered from mana when used. Actually doesn't affect me because I'm using Infernal Flame. So it's a free modifier. So it's a lot of healing with the flask, and that should help a lot with sustain in boss fights. For mapping, Grim Feast carries everything, so there's not really much to be concerned about that. In terms of links, I've actually tried Fiery Death on my Hound. I'm not sure how good it is. It seems like it helps, so I'll keep it on. And I'm using Lacerate now on my Hound as well. So the rest are still the same, Maim, Culling Strike, and Meat Shield. The only reason why is because I 6-linked my Reaver with Bloodlust for more melee physical damage when against bleeding targets. And in the VODs I've watched, the uptime for the Hound bleeding seems to be pretty good, so that's not a concern at all. Something else I noticed is that with the 8-7 distribution of minions, it also allows shock to be applied from these snipers. But there is a key concern still that these 2, they will die in maps, especially Delirious maps, where the shit hits really hard. For DD, I've actually taken out Magnified Effect. I put in Extraction. The only purpose of this is just more damage, and it seems to work. And it says sacrifice 10% of life on use, and I have 1 life, so it actually doesn't affect me at all. So it's a free damage link, basically. No downside. But yeah, that's all I think. In terms of content I'm actually doing, just Delirious maps. I'm focusing mainly on Ritual. Just any Ritual node I can do, basically. Ritual Delirium. If it has Delirium already, I'm not using a Delirious map. If it doesn't have Delirium, I'm using a Delirious map. This is just to make it so that I get some Splinters. I'm at 78 at the moment. I've used up all 3 of my first 3 types of Delirium memories. But the idea is I want to try and do some Simulacrum because this build is extremely tanky and I do not have to care about anything. At least any of the mods. For Atlas, I've taken these 2 for Ritual. I'm trying to go to kill the boss one more time, and then I'm going to take these 2, and I'm going to respec one of these, but this is just hard re-rolling for the King of the Mist entrance. And for Acute Expedition and Bridge, that's all the same, so nothing has really changed there. So plans for the future, I'm going to run Simulacrum. I'm going to try and kill the King of the Mist one more time to get this node here, which seems to be extremely good. And I'm going to keep farming for Rituals and Omens, because they seem to be the best profit, at least I think they are. Although they're really rare, so they're really actually hard to get to. In terms of issues to solve, I did give this node here a test. It doesn't really seem to be that good. But the main issue is minions dying in maps, so I've still been using Burnt Offering. I actually like it quite a lot. I am currently testing Magnified Effect on them, but I don't really know if it helps much. But Burnt Offering actually seems extremely solid for bosses. As well as like a defensive for your minion. Although you kind of have to know when to use it and how to use it instead of just pressing it randomly. I've also slotted in Eye of Winter, Unleash, and Deceleration. This is just to instantly cap my crit for critical weakness, which I think is this debuff here. It just instantly caps it at 10% extra crit chance, base crit chance that is. And my Mana Scepter just helps maintain that. You might be wondering, why is my res so ridiculously overcapped? In Ritual, there is a mod that removes about 30% of your res. So it's like some Chaos Cloud dot or something like that, some purple cloud. It removes so much of your res, so I'm super overcapped on it. And not to mention, Elemental Weakness also removes 15% of your res. So this is just designed to try and counter both of those effects. But currently, I think my Cold and my Lightning are still not 76 in this case, with when I'm in the Ritual Cloud and when I have Elemental Weakness on my map. Since I think you need plus 45 res, but these two are still pretty good, and my fire is mega overcapped so that it doesn't go down below 90 unless there's a max res reduction map. But yeah, I think that covers it for the build. In terms of changes I made, I actually swapped back to my old Minion helmet for more res. I got a Breach Ring with Elemental and Cold res and some cast speed. This is actually pretty, I think it was like a Divine, it's not too bad. I actually did drop a Minion amulet that is actually insane. But, so rarity of items, insane. Energy shield, insane. Spell damage helps with DD. Cold res, lightning res, and +3 minion spells. But it didn't hit spirit, so it kind of sucks, unfortunately. But the idea is that if I can get, I think if I swap these two out, I'm at 21. So if I can somehow get 7 more points, 7 more like spirit, because each of my minions are 28 spirit, that would actually let me spawn another minion, and it would make it so +1 minion gems, and I lose 1 minion basically instead of 2 minions, which is what I'm losing at the moment. But yeah, that's to be planned to see how that goes. Not too sure how to get the extra spirit. I was looking at the Sanctum Unique Jewel. It's like against the time, or against the time lost darkness or something like that. There's a jewel that gives 10 spirit per notable. But that is extremely expensive and there's none on the market. In terms of gear progression, I don't really think there's much that I can really do. Like, there's a +5 minion skills here, +3 minion skills here. That's probably another extra 20% damage. I can 6-link my sniper, which I probably will. I'm actually running Splint on the sniper again because I couldn't fit it on the Hound. I was thinking Meat Shield versus Last Gasp on the Hound. I'm not too sure about that yet. That's to be decided. I think Last Gasp might be better though, because Meat Shield reduces the damage, which means it also reduces bleed damage. And it actually reduces the damage by like half, like 6,000 fizz damage. And you put this in, and it's like 3,000 fizz damage, 4,000 fizz damage. So about like what it says, right? So yeah. But that's it. That's it for the short update. I will continue to make updates whenever I have any big changes. The main point of this update was this block jewel here, and then anointing the 12% block here. You can either anoint Parrying Motion, or you can anoint this one here. Or there's like another defensive block note. Anything with 12% block, basically. But that allows me to hit block cap, and then get 2 more damage jewels, which is a pretty good damage boost. But yeah, for context, my Reaver damage, let me just see it. It's about 8,000, 7.9k, and my sniper damage is 6,000, 6.2k. So the idea is that we're going to try and push that up a bit more. But you have to remember, on the Reavers, I don't think it counts the Bloodlust damage, so that's not included. So that's also something that's missing from here. And it also doesn't count the damage when Penny Offering is up, which is an insane amount of damage. But yeah, that's it for the update. Thanks for watching. Any questions, just check them in the comments.